Hello and welcome to another tier list on the bonus points. Today we are going to be doing sidekicks, companions, friends of the main character. I don't want anyone in the comments saying that this person is not really a companion.
We're a bit late to that. We did like the dads and surrogate dads one, and then there was a few people saying like they're not a dad. It's like, yeah, we know with like their father figures. And
this was meant to be a bit of fun.
These are sidekick figures, I guess. Surrogate sidekicks.
Yes. So my name's Ollie, as always, joined by Joe.
Hello.
Hello. And with that, would you like to go first?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do what we always do. We always try and kind of get a nice spread going, get like a high, low, and a medium. And I think a little thing about it. I think the ultimate medium here has to be the companion cube.
I did wonder if you were going to go for the companion cube first.
I mean,
or if you were going to save them for later.
Well, they got it because it's like no one dislikes them, but no one can love them that much because they don't do anything. It's just kind of a cool idea. So I mean, they're bang in the middle, right?
Well, they protect you from a laser. That's
but so does like any other cube in the game. It's just this one's got hearts painted on it.
I feel like you're selling him short a little bit.
I mean, what's good actually about the companion cube?
Like, he's just such a good friend. He's so funny. He really listens to you when you talk, and like, he's just like the way he's animated is just so.
If anything, it's more like how good GLaDOS is, because everything that's good about the companion cube is just from like GLaDOS's dialogue rather than the actual cube. True. But I mean, companion cube in C, it's all C's. It's got to be.
Yeah, got to be. Okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, I'm going to go for what I think we'll both agree is an instant A.
Oh, I know who it's going to be. Yeah,
and that is Kim.
I knew it was going to be Kim.
So Kim, very quickly, he's got a purple border because he's from Disco Elysium, which we did a podcast episode about. All the purple characters we have videos about on our channel. So Kim, I was thinking about it, and he's so well written that really, no matter what you do, he comes off quite well. Which is just amazing. Like, what a guy. Like, he puts up with you. He's so friendly. He's like pretty nice to all the people he speaks to, even though they can be pretty nasty to him. And then when it says that he trusts you, the ultimate companion,
I wonder,
it cuts deep.
Because I'm assuming when we played through it, we were both like trying to be quite good. I wonder what happens if you're just like fully roleplay, just being awful. Because I feel like his character would be like, oh, I'm out. Like, I'm not dealing with you, Like,
no, I think he says things like, you're a bit unorthodox, but I like it.
Yeah, but no, he's like, you're unorthodox, but you get results. But what if you weren't getting results?
That's true. Well, okay, our image of Kim is an A.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I'm not going to argue, actually, changing him down. I need to get an E. There's an obvious E. There's an obvious E. I'm going to put Ashley down in E.
Oh, come on. Ashley, she's pretty annoying.
She's in a really good game. She's like the worst part of that game.
Yeah, I agree. She is pretty annoying.
Like,
she
gameplay,
really
personality, her voice, like, she's a hassle to deal with.
But I do remember she was the first time you did an escort mission and it wasn't that bad.
It's not good.
I don't know what that's worth.
It's worse than
it's not good.
Like it didn't make the gameplay better. Like, I feel like it not being unplayable isn't.
Yeah, quite a lot of the times you were like sticking her in a bin, weren't you? It was almost as if the game designers were like, "Look, we don't know what to do with her, so you can just put her in a bin for a bit." Okay, so we got our bread and our filling. So I think a lot of these side characters, teammates, whatever you want to call them, I think you know more about a lot of them than I do.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But I'm going to go for one I do know, which I think is a B, would probably be Sully from Uncharted.
Okay.
So all the Uncharted companions are pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd say any of them were A's. They're all kind of fine. They're all kind of there just for you to bounce off.
Yeah.
None of them are really saving your life or throwing themselves in the way of things for you or really stepping up. They're very much there just so that Drake's not talking to himself for. But Sully is pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, they're all just great characters in like any Naughty Dog game, so they're all going to be pretty high up. I feel like
but he's no Kim. He's no Kim.
No. I feel like there's a real big swell of love for Sully. And I think it's mainly due to the voice and the mustache rather than anything to do with his actual personality.
And the cigar chomping is great.
I feel like that gets him pretty far, and like that makes it a bit easier where like I feel like as a character he's not the strongest, but I'm not going to try and push him to C. I think he's fine there.
Yeah, or A. He's
no, definitely. Yeah, if he was going to go one direction for me, it'd maybe be down, but I'm fine with B.
Okay.
I'm going to do a or maybe another E here. Actually, I'm gonna put Navi.
Oh, that's interesting.
I might be talked up to a D, but what do you think?
I don't really know much about Navi except for Hey Listen and Ocarina of Time. Are they only in Ocarina of Time?
I believe so. I don't think they were in Majora's Mask. But yeah, so basically they keep interrupting you. So like the whole thing when Nintendo got through their phase of games where they'll just over-explain and tutorialize everything, you'd get to a puzzle and then it'd be like a bunch of cogs and then it'll pop up saying, I think we need to get the cogs to turn. It's like, yeah, and then it kind of got to the extreme with, what's the flying one, the one in the air, the one they just remastered?
Skyward Sword?
Yeah, Skyward Sword, and that was the extreme where they just over-explain and tutorialize everything. And then I feel like Breath of the Wild was the revolt against that, where they went like kind of back to like leaving it open. And I feel like Navi, despite I love that game, that was the start of that ball where they stopped trusting kids and stopped letting them go on adventures and trying to make sure that they did everything. And just an annoying voice and popping up like you're trying to play and just, hey, listen, it's like, no, go away.
I've only played about an hour of Ocarina of Time because I didn't know where to go. So maybe Navi's not as annoying as you think.
Well, no, that's down to game design rather than like Navi's a band-aid over that. And I love that game. I completed it. It is an amazing game and it amazingly does hold up. Certainly the 3DS version, but Navi isn't. I'm sure people have a lot of strong feelings. I get told off for this, but Navi isn't good. Navi's not a good part of that game.
Okay, I'm looking for a D here. I'm not really seeing a lot of Ds poking out. Nothing's jumping out at me.
I guess maybe just an underwhelming character, one that doesn't stand out. What are your thoughts of Kazooie? I don't really know. I've never played Banjo and Kazooie. I played Nuts and Bolts.
Kazooie does like all of your special abilities are through Kazooie. So like when you learn to double jump, it's because she flaps her wings.
Yeah.
And when you learn to creep, it's because she's running. So she's actually pretty helpful.
Okay.
She does have that annoying voice there, like those
they
Animal
all
Crossing
do,
style
don't
voices.
they?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's like a witch that's like, I think Kazooie might actually be a C, to be honest.
Okay.
Because they are really useful. They're probably the most useful, maybe, out of this whole list.
Yeah, probably
all
really.
Of your special abilities are tied to them.
Probably a big inspiration for Clank, because Clank kind of does that same thing where it's like your propeller when you're like long jumping and stuff, like in your backpack or as a backpack in Clank's case.
Yeah, I do think Clank is a lot better though.
Well, should we do Clank now? Oh, yeah, I mean, Clank's pretty awesome. I mean, Clank's the best character in Ratchet and Clank, right? I think so. I think probably with Sully at B.
Yeah, I agree. I think Clank's the best character in Ratchet and Clank. He's so funny. He's got a nice little laugh. He's so confident for a little guy. He's good.
Great voice. And then like the fact that he's meant to be like this evil killing robot, and then like when you see the conveyor belt with all like these giant like war robots, then it's just him, and he's like, "Hello there, I must like inquire where I am." And he's like,
okay, I'm going to do a controversial one here that I know you're not going to like.
Okay,
but I'm going to do. So Wheatley, I think Wheatley is my D.
Ooh, I really don't like that. Why?
If people say to me, "What's the most annoying companion character in a game?" I would say Wheatley.
But I mean, it's kind of intentional,
Stephen Merchant
right?
talking to you right in your face continuously, and not only that, he blocks the entire camera, and it's like he just shut up and moves so I can see what I'm doing, and he's like, "Oh, hello, what are you doing over there? What are you doing?" It's just like, oh my god, this is so annoying. Through all of Portal, I finished it. I remember, the first third or how long he's in it. I was just like, I need to get rid of this guy. Like, he is so irritating. I would have put him as an E, but I think the game kind of needs him.
Do you not find him funny?
No, I don't remember him being very funny. I remember him just being really annoying.
Like, I remember like constantly overthinking. You know the bit like right at the beginning where he's like, press A to like say apple. and you press A, and like A's the jump button, you just jump. And he's like, what you're doing there is jumping. He's like, say apple. And he's like, if you do it again, he's like, right, good enough, let's go. Like, I think that is like so clever, the way it's like, you're just pressing the jump button. And then the turn of him being evil, like I didn't actually see that coming, you know, which is quite rare.
That's true. I didn't either. But I just find Stephen Merchant quite annoying.
Yeah.
I think having to hold him in front of your own face and walk around. It's just very...
Those moments, I guess, that's mainly early on. It hurts the pacing, and also it hurts the replayability of the game when you're kind of, you know, I mean, it's not a very replayable game anyway because it's puzzles, I guess, but...
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to go C. You got to at least give me C, though.
Can we put him halfway?
Yeah, we'll come back to him. We'll see who ends up in D, and we'll see whether he fits in, because I bet he won't fit in with anyone else that ends up in D.
Well, of all the characters on this list that I know, he is my least favourite, I'd say.
Okay.
I don't know all of them, though, to be fair, so some of them might suck.
Right, I'm going to do one that you probably don't know very well. Did you play Ni no Kuni?
No, but I know he's Welsh, this guy.
Yeah,
That's what I know.
So he's A, absolutely. Because,
what does he do then?
So he's like basically your sidekick, I guess, throughout the whole game. And he like makes that game what it is. Like the original Ni no Kuni, it's all very much straightforward Japanese RPG, you know, with the amazing Studio Ghibli design. But him as a character, he's just a delight and funny, and just his voice is amazing. Like he is what elevates that game to making that game like a JRPG that I enjoy playing. So I don't play many JRPGs. Like I don't like their stories. I think, you know, they're all the same. Like, you know, and it is one of those. But Drippy is just so delightful the entire game. And then you got the cutscenes, which are, you know, Studio Ghibli done. So the proper animations. He's always saying proper good, like the whole way through. Like proper tidy. Like he's saying that.
I should play that game. It's probably actually pretty good. All right.
Yeah.
Xbox One, it must be.
That's 360 generation. But
is it?
Yeah, I think they did. I think they remade it or did a remaster or something recently.
Jeez.
So that's probably Xbox One, PS4.
Yeah. No, I should play it. I did play a little bit of 2, but yeah.
One's much better than 2, and 2 hasn't got any Studio Ghibli stuff. They like parted ways. And and now the new one's a free-to-play mobile game with cryptocurrency
I keep getting ads for it.
as the microtransactions and NFTs and stuff. It's awful.
It must be a good time to get in, though, because they've just dropped another 23% of their market value. So
yeah.
If you feel like buying some microtransactions, now's the time.
Because it's only going to go up from here. You mark my words.
Yeah. Woo! Okay. I'm going to pick Mimir as a B. I prefer Mimir to Atreus. Atreus, is that his name? Yeah, Atreus, the little boy.
Yeah. Or Atreus, maybe. Yeah. So
Atreus, yeah.
Or boy.
Mimir, yeah.
Come boy.
Mimir's got some good. He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
He's just weirdly a bit of comic relief considering he's the just a head.
Yeah.
I also really like his design where he's got all the runes on his skull.
Yeah.
And he's also, isn't he like your navigator? He's the guy that kind of says like you need to go here.
Yeah.
Next, if I remember correctly.
And then and there's cool stuff because he's like quite in the know. And like because Kratos like isn't telling like Atreus like that he's a god, and there's like stuff that he's keeping hidden. And Mimir's kind of like in between that with the stuff he knows, and he's sort of like trying to nudge Kratos, like maybe you should tell the boy this and stuff. Like he's I think he's a much needed extra like dynamic to the, you know, stoic dad and, you know, enthusiastic boy. Like he fits in really good. And I much prefer him over Atreus.
I just saw a mod for God of War PC today that changes Kratos and Atreus for Homer and Bart, and it's also fully voiced by impressionists.
Oh my god,
which is pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, so good.
Okay, your turn.
I'm gonna do just because I don't think you would pick it. I'm gonna pick Melina. I think that's how you pronounce it. She doesn't direct, like, because she doesn't really go with you. You kind of like, you just kind of come across her throughout the whole game, like when you're resting at points of grace and stuff. She's not such a sidekick, but the reason I like her so much is because obviously, like, Elden Ring is such like a dark, horrific, like difficult game, and like she's just like a breath of like fresh air and positivity and a bit of niceness and helps you out. But on my playthrough, I ended up doing, I won't spoil it, but I ended up joining kind of some basically like a cult. And like when I went to go there, she's like, "Oh, don't like I wouldn't do this," and I did it. And then she's like, "I'm really bad. Like, I'm gonna have to leave you now. Like, and if you become Elden Lord, I'm gonna come and kill you." And I was like, "No, I've lost her. Like, she was like the one nice thing in the game, and now I've joined this evil thing, and she's leaving me." And so I think I think that is a really interesting character, and I like the mystery. She's not so much of a sidekick as the others, just because she kind of just pops up every now and then. So I think for that reason, I'm going to leave her down in C. But I think kind of that's why I think she's interesting enough to be worth putting up on this list.
You said you weren't going to spoil it, and then you spoiled it.
I didn't spoil what I did.
You sort of did.
There's like a million of those things that you could. And she says, like, you know, she scolds you before you're joining, so it's not that big. But I didn't know that they're going to follow through on it, and I'd lose because I didn't think you could beat the game without her. But you can. And I tried desperately to like backtrack, and there's things that you could do to leave this, but she never came back. And
isn't the fact that she abandons you should make her worse, right? She's not a very good companion if she abandons you.
No, she's a great character. And also, like, say if someone...
We're doing companions, sidekicks.
Yeah, but say if you're my mate, and then, like, you find out that,
I'm
like...
not, but yeah.
in this theoretical scenario, and then you find out I'm a Nazi... I think it looks bad on you if you do stick with me, you know?
That's true.
I think you'd be a better person to abandon me.
I may have stuck with you through a lot, mate, but I've got to draw a line somewhere, so... Okay, all right, well, let's leave her where she is. I've said my piece, I don't really know much more about her, so... Okay, so next one. I feel like archetypal A rank Alex from Half-Life.
Absolutely.
Same as her dad. Yeah. I guess Valve are just really good at making characters.
Big shocker.
They make the archetypal character that you think.
As long as they're not robots or boxers, apparently.
Exactly. They've never been very good at writing boxes. Loot boxes, companion cubes.
That's gonna be our next list, by the way, our next tier list.
Best boxes.
Best boxes. That would actually be a good like crates and explosive barrels and stuff.
Or game box art.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that could be a thing. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's like we're hinting something. This is the first time we've said it.
Well, when I thought of this, coming up with this list, Alex was the first one I wrote on, so I feel like it deserved to be an A for that. Also, your dog.
Yeah. Oh, the robot dog.
No, your dog.
My dog.
Real life dog.
I thought you because Alex has got a dog called Dog, doesn't she?
Yeah, but your dog's called Alex.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got a dog named after this character. If that doesn't say how much I like this character, she can't die in combat. She actively helps you out. There's moments where like you don't have a gun, and then like you have to shine a flashlight, and she'll shoot at where you shine and where you shine it at, and like the AI is good enough for her to be genuinely like competent and useful. Yeah, and then and the writing as well. Her as a character is really good.
Yeah, nice. All right, your pick.
Oh yeah, so I just assumed that Alex would be my pick. I'm not ready. Let's do Cortana. I mean, she's pretty good, but she's not amazing. She's very like of an old, like they've tried to adapt her more recently in Halo games, but like she was very much the old school video game of voice in your ear, doing missions and stuff. I think probably C tier. I think
C as well.
As much as that hurts me. C for Cortana.
I think so as well. Same reason though, but like she was kind of annoying in Infinite, but then when I remember back in Halo 1, when she was just like giving you helpful information.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot more then. Yeah,
there's some good moments, but they tried to like, there's almost like a bit of a romance between her and Master Chief. And like, I get it. Because like since like from Halo 4 onwards, they tried to add more emotion to Halo games. And then like the characters they had was like blue hologram and like green armor guy who doesn't really talk. And so it's like, that's what they have to work with. So they're like, yeah, let's use these toys to try and like tell the story. And it felt a little bit forced. But yeah, I mean, she's iconic. I used to have a budgie named after her. I just got pets named after all of these characters.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna pick Sheva.
Okay.
From Resident Evil 5. I don't know where she's gonna go yet, because when she is AI controlled,
Oh God.
Jeez. So this is the reason I put her in, is because I wanted to give this bit of trivia. So basically, in the Xbox 360 PS3 era, she was like abhorrent. Like you would like step on a thumbtack and she would give you a first aid spray. And you'd be like, why have you used that?
Yeah.
You did not need to do that. And people used to like take ammo off of her so she couldn't shoot things. So when they brought it out for PS4 and Xbox One, they used like all the data to redo her AI, and it was like much better. It wasn't great, but it was much better. But then when you finish the game, you can choose to play as Sheva and have Chris as your AI. But they didn't add the redone stuff to him.
Chris
So
is
he
really
was
bad.
like so stupid. So you'd start the game again and he'd be like, just like so like dumb. Like he would just do the dumbest things. And there's loads of fan art of like this really dumb Chris. And there's a really good one where he's like squatting over, like drawing bananas on the floor. Like, it's so funny. But anyway, Sheva.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I only ever played it with a person. I never played it solo. So I never experienced the bad AI, but like I heard about it, mainly about her like using all your health kits and stuff.
It's bad. It's bad to the point where like you pretty much can't play on your own.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I might put her in D.
Yeah, I got zero emotion to her as like a character either, like her personality. Like
they ditched her. I mean, she's quite a good teammate. She throws herself in the way of things in the cutscenes. She's like there for you, even though it's not really her mission. She's like, I'm staying with you, partner, and all this, and it's quite cool. But yeah, the AI just completely ruined her.
Okay. I might have a maybe another D, I think. And I swear I'm not just picking them by their by the letters of their names.
Is it Diddy or Dom?
It's Daxter.
Daxter! It's the other D that I missed somehow.
It's the third one. I really love the Jak and Daxter games, and there's actually the Daxter spin-off PSP game was really good. But like he's the making quips and jokes and stuff, and he's just a little bit annoying and a little bit like, you know, let's add the comic relief character, but the writing, you know, against everything we said about Naughty Dog, I don't think was quite there for him. You know, it's like
right.
You know, like you think of kind of more like kids' cartoons of the time, and like having that with you the whole time when you're playing this game. I think he's below. I'm looking at C tier, and I don't think he's on that level.
Wow. Okay. Don't you use him as a whip?
Yeah, you do your spin move, and he's always like a scarf. I think he like whips around you. Like, yeah, he's fine, but he's not particularly useful gameplay wise. And I think there's a lot of these sidekicks are very good. And like looking CB and A tier is very good. So I don't think he's awful, but I think he's probably D tier.
I do think that Wheatley is looking at D tier now, though, and he's thinking that looks like I could fit in there.
Yeah, that's where you want to put him, not where.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna pick. Oh, this is a tricky one. Otakon. And I'm going to put in between B and C. Because I feel like back in the day when these games were new, Otakon was awesome. Like, he was cool. He had his little handshake with Snake. They hung out together all the time. Like, he was quite a good little helper character. But now I look back, maybe he was actually quite lame.
It was nice to get some, like, nerd representation in video games.
Yeah. He was always quite funny though. In MGS4, he turned into quite a funny character. Like,
yeah, I liked how much dialogue they had for him for like unique things. Like in Metal Gear Solid 2, and you're like sending the pictures, and he would have like all these unique things to say to you. And
he kind of rules. Yeah, let's put him in B.
Certain actions you do, like, you know,
yeah.
And like
you've just got him up to B. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the stuff. There was a lot of the cool, weird moments were related to him, like the little side stuff that would be easily missed. I bet there's like a million Easter eggs to do with him.
Oh, definitely. Also, one of my favorite moments is the bit where you're in the lift in MGS1, and it turns out all the stealth suit guys are in there with you.
Yeah.
And that's when Otakon rings you, and his face zooms up to the codec call, and he's like, Snake, they're in there with you. I love that bit.
And Snake, and the classic Snake, like he's the one.
Yeah,
he's the one I think of. You know, I know there's other people that do that, but he's the one I think of when I think of the screaming Snake.
Yeah. Dude, that's actually been surpassed in my mind by the Uncharted death sound.
Oh,
they're like, Nate, no! And it's like,
Right, I'm gonna do I'll do Dom now. I think Dom is an E tier.
This guy sucks, man. Yeah, he's so lame. All the Gears characters are such losers. I hate them all.
So he's the most loser one because just like I was saying with Halo, when these games started off just straight like guys with guns shooting things games, they got to the point where they were trying to be all mature and get emotional. And he's got the whole story about him like trying to find his wife, but she's been like taken by is it the locusts, aren't they? And like she's been put in this pod
locusts,
and she's all like a zombie thing, and they really go hard with like the music and stuff and like flashbacks.
Yeah, he meets her and she like comes out of the pod or something. I think I saw it on YouTube. And
and then I think he shoots her as well, and they got like, but the gun is like comically big with his big muscles and stuff. And and it like even back in the day, I was like, oh, this is cringy. Like it doesn't work. Like sorry to anyone who had teared up at that moment, but that's why we chose him instead of like Cole or Baird or anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as I was playing Gears 5, and the reason I stopped is because like every single person is just awful.
Yeah.
Like horrible people to be around. I don't want to spend time with them. Okay. Actually, I don't know who to pick.
Are you between?
I think I'm actually going to pick
Luigi and Ellie. I saw your cursor hovering.
I was, yeah. I think I'm actually going to go Luigi.
Interesting.
I feel like he might be an A. He's an A. He surpasses Mario even in terms of personality, I think.
Yeah, I think didn't we on another list or something? I think didn't we?
Oh, Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, Mario Kart.
He could have been a purple border. He was in the Mario Kart video. He not only are his own games good, which we probably shouldn't consider for this, but he's just a good second character, and like all the jokes made at his expense in the RPGs are all pretty funny, and all his little animations are pretty funny, and the fact that he's a scaredy cat's quite charming.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe his control is actually a bit worse than Mario's because he's so slidey, isn't he? But he can jump higher.
Yeah, I mean, to play, I think I'd play Mario, like out of the two, but that's fine because this is the list of sidekicks, not protagonists.
Sidekicks.
So he's the perfect, your brother will play him.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay, nice one. Instant A.
I'm going to do another A as well, and I know this is one that you haven't played, but I think Elizabeth is an incredible sidekick.
Really?
Yeah.
An A.
So
with that lineup.
Absolutely. So because once again, like she can't die. So you're never babysitting her. She'll go around, like she'll look around the environment. She'll find ammo for you. She'll find like money, and she does a really cool animation. She'll go like book it here, and she'll like flick the coin, and you like press to grab it. She will spawn in like stuff for you. She'll like you can do like tears in the world, and you'll be like, oh, I need cover, and she'll like basically bring like cover from another world to like protect you. So gameplay wise, she's pretty good. But the main thing is when there's a lot of areas in the game we were kind of just exploring like a town or something, and you'll go into a shop, and if you just watch her, the way she like looks around from like looking at toys and like actually picking them up and looking at them and then having little natural dialogue, like it's the most, I don't know. Like I don't think I've ever been with an AI character where they feel more real, and they don't look like, oh, now they're doing this animation. It's so natural. It feels like you're exploring with them, and she might go a little bit ahead and look at a view, and then when you like, she'll stay there until you catch up, and then she'll mention something. But then if you go off somewhere else, she'll follow after you. Like that stuff is incredible. And she's good in gameplay as well. Like I think that, I know that there are flaws in that game, but Elizabeth is like an absolute high point.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I've never played it, so maybe we should do it for the podcast, I don't know. All I've seen is that video called My Brain on Bioshock, and I was like, this looks terrible. And I never played it.
Like it's not a perfect game, but it is interesting. The only reason why I haven't really picked it is I played it quite recently. So I'm like, I just don't really want to play it again because I played it recently. I'd rather wait a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so for my next one, I am going to pick Ellie. I'm actually going to put her in B.
Oh.
Because even though I like her a lot, and she's a great character from now one of my favourite games, the parts where she's sniping and you have to run around, she was not that good. So in terms of being an actual good sidekick, she fails when I needed her the most. I felt like the hardest part of the whole game was her aiming the rifle. So
and you put it down
just
to
based
B,
on that, she has to go down.
Just because you were bad in one bit of the game, you're going to put her all the way down to B?
She's meant to be my teammate. She was letting me down.
Oh, Ellie's A. Ellie's absolutely A.
Let's put her halfway.
Yeah, maybe we'll come back to it.
She really let me down at that point. Also, she's got that like AI that like it's not that good, and like she walks in the way of things, and she just looks ridiculous. Yeah, she's like crouch walking like in front of enemies, and they're just like.
But yeah, for the stealth stuff, it's weird. But I mean, like, what's the alternative? Like, they keep spotting her when it's not your fault.
Well, the alternative is that she's better at hiding.
Yeah, I guess. I think she's so helpful because she does help you. Like sometimes she like throw rocks at people and like she will help you out in gameplay, but like to a reasonable degree. But I think just her as like a character, and when you're exploring and she's like finding things, like finding comic books and like commenting on things, and the little moments where you press triangle to have a little bit of dialogue with her. Like if you were going through those exact same gameplay scenarios and she wasn't there, like I think it would even though she doesn't do much, it would really detract from the game. It would be so
I just
lonely.
don't think she's not as helpful though.
No, she's
like the others that are up there in A.
No, she's not as helpful gameplay wise. But then again, Luigi is, that's just another character playing.
He's an icon, isn't he?
Yeah, I feel like Ellie. Yeah, I feel like Ellie's kind of becoming an icon. Like she's a modern icon, right?
Well, no, she's halfway in the gap now.
Okay,
so we'll sort that out later.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Yeah. Is your pick?
Oh, let's do Sparks. Sparks is pretty awesome. I love how I think C.
Okay, I would just say I've never played a Spyro game, but first impressions of him is that he sucks. He looks terrible. That's all I know.
I get it. So like he basically like he flies around you. He doesn't talk or anything, but there's two really smart gameplay things. So he's your health bar. So the color he is how much health you have. So if he's gold, like you see there, you've got like full health. If you take damage, he changes color, and then you basically got to like you kill like a sheep or something or an animal and they like eat the spirit or something, whatever, that heals him. So that's just a really natural way just to reduce HUD. Also, the whole point of that game is you're collecting like gems and stuff. When there's just a few gems left, he points his tail to where the last few are. So once again, rather than having a big arrow on screen, so like there's two really smart like subtle gameplay design mechanics through just this one little dragonfly that's around you.
Well, he also doesn't speak, so he's probably not annoying. Maybe he should be a bee.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically those two gameplay things. I don't know if that's enough to put him with B. I mean, if you look at the friends, like it's that sort of gameplay stuff that there's still games today, like you play and there's like loads of stuff covering the screen, and I'm like, God, like they did that with Spyro like ages ago, and that's so smart.
Dead Space director was like loving Sparks. Like, how do we fit Sparks into our game?
But it's like Ghost of Tsushima when it's like rather than having like a waypoint, it's like the wind will guide you.
Oh, the wind blows, yeah.
And I'm like, that's so smart. Like everyone just ripped that off. Like the less stuff you can have on screen, like the better for me. And that's why Sparks is cool.
The Mafia games, they have road signs that point the way you're meant to be going.
Yeah.
And they're only there when you need to go that way. So
do you remember how they did it in The Getaway?
The indicator.
Yeah. But that's so smart.
These criminals using that. Yeah, they're criminals using their indicators.
But that's so good because you're just driving. Because you would actually indicate if you were going that way. You just indicate which way you need to go. Like stuff like that, like I love. Like any sort of really smart design. But then no one ever rips them off. And it's like, why? Stop having pride. It's good.
It's crazy that they had that indicator thing and in the same game they had the leaning on the wall to heal.
Yeah. But then again, everyone moaned about that. Like, oh, you just like have a rest for a bit and your health heals. That's how most games do health. They don't do the leaning. I know. But that regenerating health, they were above, the standard for that. But it was just dumb that you had to lean against a wall.
Yeah, there's loads of... Oh, mate, there's so much stuff like that. I don't want to get into it because it just really annoys me. People complaining about things that become the norm. Okay, I'm going to go Tails. I think Tails is a B. Well, he's a fox. But he goes in B tier because, he's not as good as Luigi. He's pretty iconic though. Also, his flying is really helpful. I don't really like how everyone's like, oh, I don't want to play as Tails, but really he's as fast as Sonic and he can fly. Yeah. So he's actually better.
Is there a downside to obviously you can do like your little float thing. Is there anything worse?
No, he gets tired from flying and drops quite fast, but you can see it coming.
Is there a factor that those games were like awful co-op? Like because the camera, like you could, the whole point is going fast, but you couldn't because it was you just couldn't do it. You'd have to be because it was single screen, right? I'm not misremembering that.
Yeah.
So
no, you're right.
Like any time Tails is there, the Sonic player is having a worse experience because you're playing co-op.
Well, no, because the camera follows Sonic.
Yeah,
and even if your second player is Tails, if you take damage, you don't lose your rings. You just flicker, then you come back on. So you're kind of invulnerable. You're just ultimate little brother mode.
Yeah,
basically.
Those games just don't work co-op, I think.
No,
and
no, they don't.
I mean, I'm just not a giant Sonic fan either. So I'll leave him up to you. Like, I'm not going to try and put him down. I got nothing against him. It's a cool design. I like the two tails that spin.
Yeah.
But I have no connection to Cell's gameplay or I don't know, character. Does he have a character? What's his personality like?
He's like really smart. That's his thing.
Okay,
he's like the
he's got his
engineer.
plane.
Like,
the plane's quite cool.
Yeah, he built the plane. He builds all the gadgets and stuff.
Okay. If you think
I quite like Tails.
I
think he's quite cool. Yeah, he's not as good as Luigi, but he's no Kazooie. Let me put it that way.
Okay. These last two, I don't really have any strong feelings for either of them. I don't do it like. I mean,
yeah, Aku gives me cancelled vibes now. I don't know. The fact he says "ooga booga" when you pick him up.
Yeah, the voice and like the music and stuff. Yeah,
it's a bit like, but he's still in the games. People still like him.
Yeah, he's in the remakes.
Yeah,
I just put him in E. Like if.
Yeah, he's not that.
Like compared to Daxter, which is like a strong
an actual character.
Yeah, a strong D. I feel like neither of us have a connection and not cancelled yet, but will probably be sunset soon.
Yeah, it can't be long now. Okay, so for the final one then, Diddy, I reckon pure C. C fodder he is.
Yeah.
He's fine. Like, again, he's got that smart thing of he's kind of your health bar in Donkey Kong Country. But
isn't it just he leaves when you get hit? Is that what it is? Like,
yeah, so you can take 2 hits if there's 2 of you, and you can take 1 hit when you're on your own.
Okay. Not D tier?
And he's no, because like he's got his own thing going on. He's got his own game. Diddy Kong Racing. He wears a baseball cap.
It's finally the representation that you need in these games.
Yeah, I think he's quite a cool character. He's just not all that, is he?
Okay.
So he can be in C. Yeah.
Right, well, let me just let's just tidy up the list a little bit. Just get it all lined up nicely. There we go.
Oh, so you put Wheatley in D
and Ellie in A. Oh,
yeah,
no,
that's fine.
No, throw away.
Yeah, you've done it. He's in. I've locked him.
Is that compromise? We both got them where we wanted, I guess. One of them each.
Yeah, I mean, maybe once I play Last of Us 2, I'll be like, Ellie is.
Well, Ellie, I mean, I assume it's not spoilers. You've seen.
She's the main
you
character,
play as her. Yeah. So I feel like we only need to be looking at her as a sidekick. Yeah, and any talks of her as a character in Last of Us 2 would just be major spoilers, so I just won't say anything.
Okay.
She becomes a baker, becomes a stay-at-home mum.
That's what you were saying. This reminded me of when you were saying about the JRPGs, that all the stories are the same. It's literally like, you are a baker. And then at the end of it, it's like, you are fighting a god.
Yeah.
It's just every JRPG, isn't it?
Who'd have thought I was the chosen one?
Yeah, who'd have thought?
The prophecy said about.
Okay, so I think we're there.
Yeah, anyone else looking like across the lines of each tier list? Is there any ones that seem like they don't fit in with their contemporaries?
The only one I'm unsure about is Drippy, but that's only because I have absolutely no point of reference. Like, is Drippy as good as Kim?
Are any of the others in A tier as good as Kim?
I'd say Alex. Alex is up there.
I mean, it's just so weird. I mean, look at their faces side by side, and you're asking me to compare them. Like they're just.
Yes, I have.
They're just going for such different things. Like, I'm sure there'll be a few people in the comments that played Ni no Kuni. Like, please back me up on this. Like, I think if you just YouTube a few cutscenes with him in, that would be enough for you to. Compared to all of the other characters in the game, which are just completely the like JRPG stereotypes, like of like the moody guy with dark hair and the sword, and like they cover all of those ground. And then Drippy is just so like not that and just positive, like easy. Yeah, he belongs there.
Okay, all right, I'm convinced. Are you sure you're not Drippy, mate?
It's just lantern on my nose. Like.
Okay, looking at it then. Yeah, I think we're there. Poor Sheva. Oh well.
Yeah, I have no feelings for him. I really like the game, but I have no. All I can think of is like Chris going like Sheva, like just like calling for her all the time.
They do also have that thing where every inventory item you can ask for, so they have lines for like, give me an egg, Give me an herb.
Well, my thoughts are, you know, when you go to a door and you're waiting for the other one and you just just keep spamming, like, over here, like, the door, like, Sheva, like, that's what my thought of, is it?
She's got that one really good line where you're fighting a giant spider and you can throw a grenade in its mouth, and if you do it, she goes, "Die, you abomination!" Just amazing.
Not a good day for Resident Evil, unfortunately for you, Ollie.
Nah, man, the Resident Evil games, they always have their side characters and they just bin them off after one game.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I feel like Sheva had more life in her. Anyway, I think we're done.
Brilliant.
Great. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree, or if you've got any new ideas for tier lists. I think we're going to do vehicles.
Yeah, vehicles and games that aren't driving games.
Yeah, and then, of course, crates.
Yeah.
And then, as I mentioned in the last video, in-game ready meals was the one that we said we were going to do last time. Cool. All right. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.